Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And yeah, there's still not much going on in the market, and in this video I actually want to just give you a recap of what has happened in the past couple of months and what could happen in the next couple of months. And before I do that, like I said, check out the memberships and the Patreon because in times like these it's important that you know what's going on in the market. So yeah, let's see what's happening with Cardano. Obviously, like I said, on the 4-hour chart there's not much going on. We are still going up. We actually bounced off the 200-day moving average here, and this is the fourth time that we are reacting to it. As you can see, we reacted to it here, and here, and yeah, we'll see if we stay above it or not. We are still in a fourth wave move down, and I mean, I cannot confirm that it has bottomed because we don't really have 5 waves up, but once we get 5 waves up, I will be able to confirm that the low is in. Now, what we need to do right now is get above the bull market support band. The bull market support band is at about 85 cents, and of course we are below it because we had a cross on it, but I mean, it's likely we get another low or we just go sideways until we have another cross and until the Fed meeting, and the Fed meeting is on March 19th. And I told you like a week ago or so that we are most likely not going to do much until March 19th, and I mean, that turned out to be true. Now, we also have a trend line on the chart. Well, actually, we have 2 trend lines now. We also have this one right here. So if the price drops, we could react to this one, and if we don't, then we will most likely drop to the next one, and we'll see if we react or not. Keep in mind, if we drop below the 200-day moving average, it's likely that we do not bounce, and it's likely that we actually get another low right here. I've been talking about this A, B, C scenario for quite some time now, so this should not really be, news to you. And like I said, we are waiting for a cross on the bull market support band, and this could take like 2 more weeks, maybe even more. So you have to, be patient. But once this happens, I think that will be the perfect time to start a third wave of the third wave. We already have the setup ready, so right now the market is just waiting for something to happen. And I mean, let's also talk about Bitcoin dominance. It's still going sideways, just like it was going sideways over here before the altcoin season. So I think at some point it will start breaking down because I mean, it cannot seem to be able to get above 62%. I mean, we got rejected at pretty much the exact same level like 3 times here, which leads me to believe that at some point it will start breaking down. Now, if it starts breaking down, what we need to do first is break below the bull market support band and then below the 200-day moving average. However, that would not really be enough to confirm that the low is in. We also have to break below this low right here, which is at like 54%, and then I will actually be able to confirm that the bear market for the Bitcoin dominance chart has started and that we're actually starting an altcoin season. Because let's say we drop to like 54% again, this could just be a fake out and then we go up again, and obviously people do not want to see that, but you have to be aware of all the possibilities. And if we do not really go below this low right here and we just form a higher low, I mean, this could turn into a much bearish structure for the altcoin market, so we definitely do not want to see this. But like I said, the market is still waiting for QE right now, and we'll see if it starts or not. Like I said, if it does not start, it will not be the worst thing in the world, because in the 2017 cycle we did not really need QE to start the altcoin season. So I mean, we could theoretically still start it, but but I am expecting it to start by April or May, and honestly I do not really want to see that in May. I kind of want to see Bitcoin dominance start breaking down at the end of March. That has been my prediction for quite some time now, and I mean that still has to happen. But if it does not happen, like I said, it will be very bad for the altcoin market, because I'm expecting Bitcoin to drop a lot during the summer. I mean, it always drops during the summer. It dropped right here in 2021. It dropped like 55%, and here as well in 2017. Here I think it dropped like 40%, and in 2013 it dropped like 80%. So every single cycle we had a drop in the summer and then a new cycle high at the end of the year. I think you already know this, but I just have to repeat what I say every single day because there's not much else to talk about. So if you don't know what's going on, let's also talk about Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin is doing something very interesting right now. If you look, I mean, we are currently above the 200-day moving average, which is actually quite good, and maybe we will use this as support. I mean, who knows? And if we do, we should get a bounce fairly soon, and that should put us back above the bull market support band. And I mean, if we do get back above the bull market support band, then what we need to do is break above this high right here, which is at about $106,000, and then we could finally start a fifth wave of this very big 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, and that will complete the main third wave. And I still think that the fifth wave right here will end by the end of May, which means that by the end of May, Bitcoin should be at least $130,000 to $140,000, and then we could start the summer drop. I think the summer drop will happen. Now, I mean, I've heard some theories that maybe this right here was the drop that we always get during the summer, and maybe this means that in this cycle we will go up during the summer rather than down. And I don't know, I mean, that could also be the case. I'm not going to bet on that because I don't really want to bet against, what happened in the last 3 cycles, but I mean, maybe this cycle is different. I mean, there are a couple of things that are definitely different in the cycle. For example, Bitcoin breaking its previous all-time high way sooner than in the previous couple of cycles. So maybe we are in a different cycle, but you also have to keep in mind, if this is a different cycle, then maybe this is actually a left translated peak, and maybe the top is already in. Now, I'm not going to say that. I'm only going to say that if we break below $69,000, if we do not stay above this high right here, and if we actually break below the 0.618 support level, we are most likely in a left translated peak. And that's not really bearish for the altcoin market, because I think the altcoin season will happen no matter what. Bitcoin dominance has to cool off at some point, so even if Bitcoin has already topped, which seems very unlikely to me, but even if it did, the altcoin season will still happen, because you cannot expect Bitcoin to go down like this. Of course, it's going to get, these kind of moves and then we go down. So when something like this happens, if this is a left translated peak, that will be the perfect time for the altcoin season. Bitcoin is at like $80,000 right now, and in the last cycle, when Bitcoin was at like $60,000 right here, this is when the altcoin season started, and it actually started when Bitcoin was going sideways and then down, and during this time the altcoins were going up. So it could definitely start right now, but the market is still waiting for something. And like I said, you should not really watch these videos. I don't know why you are watching these videos, because there's nothing new. But I mean, if you want to know what's going on, let's also talk about ADA Bitcoin. Like I said, the ADA Bitcoin chart is still in a 1-2-1-2 setup, and I mean, it's the exact same setup as what we had over here. It's the exact same thing, and I don't think we'll break above the previous 2021 all-time highs. I think this will most likely, top between 2,700 satoshis and 4,000 satoshis, and the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup right here would be a good target for the fifth wave, because in the previous cycle, in the fifth wave move up, we got exactly to the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. So if we do what we did here, maybe it's likely that we actually top very, very soon. And yeah, we'll see if that happens or not. And this chart also shows us that from the 2018 high to the 2021 high, it took about 1,337 days, which means that, I mean, if we go 1,337 days into the future after this high right here, that would put us at the end of April. Could we top on the ADA Bitcoin chart by the end of April? Well, who knows? I mean, from where we are at right now, ADA would have to, do pretty well against Bitcoin, and it would have to go up at least like 300% against Bitcoin. Could that happen? Well, I think it could happen, because I mean, that's what an altcoin season is, but I mean, who knows? And I mean, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, I still think we will get another low, because we are still below the bull market support band. But if we get above the bull market support band, the chances of us getting another low are going to get smaller and smaller. And I mean, if you look at the Ethereum chart, however, it's still looking like it will get another low as well, but who knows? I mean, this could be a bottom, and if it is, we should get a bounce next week, and next week is like in 2 days, so we should still wait for that, and we'll see if it happens or not. Like I said, if we do not get a bounce next week, it's likely that Ethereum drops to the next support zone, which is at like $1,400, so please be careful. And if it does go lower, that will make us be oversold on the weekly chart. As you can see, we are almost oversold, not quite there yet, but the RSI is like 34 right now, and the last time we were oversold was down here when the Ethereum was at like $800. So if we do get to the oversold territory on the weekly chart, this could actually be very, very bullish, because it only happened 2 times in the past, and both of these times these were a bear market low. So I mean, here in 2018 the price of Ethereum was $80. Here here, right here in 2022, the price of Ethereum was about, let's see, about $800. So if we go to the oversold territory again and Ethereum is at like $1,400 this time, that could be a very nice bounce. And I mean, I could even see Ethereum get to like $8,000 by the end of this year. I know that sounds ridiculous right now, but I mean, if you look at the history, after we got to the oversold territory of New Weekly, we always got a bounce and Ethereum went up quite a lot during that time. So I think we are just preparing for the altcoin season and the whole market is ready, but right now we just have to wait for a decision. Even Cardano is ready. I mean, it's the exact same setup as this right here. It's the exact same trend line and pretty much the exact same uptrend. So we are waiting for the third wave of the third wave. And yeah, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.